Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Brittany with Horoscope.com. Here are 3 things you need to know in order to make today, Thursday, January 24th, 2019, a success. Now the first thing I want to talk about is going to be right here where the moon is. Now in this chart, the moon's in Libra, but at the very beginning of the day, the moon's going to be right here in the sign of Virgo. When the moon's in Virgo, brings our attention to doing things, especially work, doing the things you gotta do, you gotta get done, taking care of business. Also brings our attention to our job, our daily routines, our health, and maybe even strategizing, planning, and thinking about what is to come and how to create the best results in the future. Now what we've got happening here very, very early this morning, maybe while some of us are sleeping, is this moon in Virgo in a square with Jupiter. Now this can bring very, very strong feelings and emotions that could come up. I like to say they're going to be positive with Jupiter involved, but that's not always the case. Sometimes squares to Jupiter can bring up big feelings in either direction, big good feelings or sometimes big sad or hard feelings as well. What I do believe this is going to be about is about some kind of new job or new set of daily routines, maybe even some kind of new or different strategy or plan for what you need to do to just be more efficient perhaps on the day-to-day. So I think that's what's coming up here, trying to figure out here how to understand what's going on with you on the day-to-day and how you can do something different or better on the day-to-day to hopefully do more things that it is that you like. What's going on there. That's going to stay with us until a few hours later. A few hours later now, right before we're waking up, maybe while some of us are waking up, this moon in Virgo is then going to make a square to Venus, which is very, very close to Jupiter right now. And what this could bring also is going to be lots going on perhaps with relationships, maybe dealing a lot with relationships, even dealing with money, maybe because we're trying to have a new set of daily routines, do things different on the day-to-day. Maybe we also have to adjust our relationships and money in accordance with the things that we're going to do that are different to align everything up together, okay? So there could be some adjustments that are needed there. Lots of thinking that's going on with relationships and money. Then the next alignment that's going to happen is going to be around breakfast time. Around breakfast time, this moon in Virgo is then going to make a trine over here to Pluto in Capricorn. And what that can bring is now that we're starting to strategize, plan, take care of business, even if it's requiring us to rearrange some things so that we can do them better or differently, especially with relationships and money, I think then we start to feel more of a change come in our life direction and where we see our life going because we've made some of these other adjustments. That's going to stick with us until dinner time. Around dinner time, this moon in Virgo is then going to sextile the North Node here in Cancer. What's going to happen there is it's going to make it a lot easier for us to start to feel more comfortable emotionally with some of the things that it is that we've been doing. Perhaps at the beginning part of the day, we tried to do something new or different. Maybe it was a little bit uncomfortable. It was out of our comfort zone to do something else. Maybe it required us to look up, see a little bit of a different perspective, organize things differently. That was a little bit hard. But as we move towards the nighttime, I think it becomes much easier for us to start to feel comfortable with our new set of daily routines because we did some of the things earlier that needed to take place. I can definitely see the nighttime being a little bit more emotional, a little bit more internal, trying to just figure out and get right with yourself with what's going on. A few hours after that now, as we're moving towards bedtime, this moon in Virgo is then going to make an opposition over here to Chiron in Pisces. So that could definitely bring up some sensitivities for sure. About your daily routines, about the things that you're doing on the day and the life that it is that you are starting to create, even if it is new or different than what you were once doing. Okay, could be a little bit uncomfortable here, not feel quite great as you're going to bed, unsure of, am I doing the right thing on the day-to-day? Am I not? What's going on? But I think with the sextile to the North Node, really needing to focus on your emotional well-being, calming your emotions, nurturing yourself so that you can start to move forward as some things in your life start to shift and as chapters in our life start to change in a very, very big way. Then what's going to happen after that now, right before tomorrow starts, this moon Virgo is then going to switch over here into Libra. where you see it in this chart, and it's going to become more about balance, emotional balance, especially balancing your feelings, and it's going to become more about working with relationships here to help you do some of the new and different things that it is that you worked on for most of the day. All right, so that's what we've got there. The number one thing that I want to mention, try to do things differently on the day-to-day, even if it feels uncomfortable or takes you out of your comfort zone. I think it's going to be good for you. Spend the early part of the day doing that, and then spend the morning time calming some of your emotions and tending to some of your emotional sensitivities so that you can be more balanced with your feelings and not let those things get the best of you. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is going to be right here where Mercury is, because Mercury today is going to enter the sign of Aquarius. Mercury rules the way that we think and communicate. So what can happen, and Mercury actually kind of likes Aquarius since it's also an air sign. So I believe that our conversations are going to become a little bit more forward thinking now. We're thinking a little bit more now that we've initiated some big change in our life, or that our life is starting to change directions in a big way, which would have come to us at the eclipses these past few weeks. Mercury in Aquarius is going to help us now start to see the big picture. Okay, well, now that my life has changed, what's next? And how can I get there? And what are my new goals and dreams for the future? And how can I see my future differently? Which can start to come into the picture, settling into these changes. Also, Mercury in Aquarius could bring lots of conversations too, with friends, wanting to see the bigger picture, detach from some of the things that have been going on a little bit lately in your life too. So yeah, that you can get a different perspective. And I think needing to allow yourself to do that, to get different perspectives, see your future in different ways, and detach from some things that may have been going on that could feel a little bit emotionally heavy. Okay. Now the third thing I want to talk about is going to be Jupiter right here, number 3. Jupiter in a trine over here with Mars and Aries. This is actually very, very good. This can bring lots of excitement, lots of passion when it comes to doing things differently, new things, especially with relationships and with money. So I do like that. I do want to encourage you to get excited about what's going on, because to me things look positive. It's just figuring out how to organize all this new stuff that you want to do in a more practical way and to integrate it into your life on the day-to-day that I think could be the challenge. And once you start to integrate all this new exciting stuff, perhaps that may be very different than what you once thought your life was going to be. Once you can integrate that into your life in the day-to-day in a more practical way, then it might be a little bit easier for you to start to consider different possibilities for your life and where the future is going. So that is your daily planetary forecast for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.